Are we recording?
Yes, we are recording.
It's recording? Did you hit fucking record? I asked you to record.
It's recording, man. God damn, it's recording, man.
Alright, we're on camera. Where's my untold truth?
It's my fault. It's my fault. It's too dark, man. You know I told you it was too dark. And I was unable to make it lighter, so I was like...
Can I purchase the content? like the leagues be doing? Can I purchase it from you?
I can send it to you. You can have the content. You actually can have the content.
I can have it?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna hold you to that statement.
All right, man. Hopefully I got it.
I might have to remix some of it because some of that shit is old based on the time, but I think it was still interesting when we did it.
We could still redo it.
Not until that comes out. When that comes out, then we can talk about a sequel, a current day. Now, a modern untold truth. I got you. How about that? That's a deal.
What's that?
If you give me my untold truth, my original, 3 years old? If you give me my original 3-year-old untold truth, I will guarantee you immediately at the first weekend available after that of whatever untold truth, whatever follow-up you want to call it, the sequel, you want to start from fresh, whatever, I will guarantee we'll do that right away.
All right, y'all heard it, right? Y'all heard it.
Don't send me no bullshit footage that I can't put out. Fuck out of here.
All right, man. All right. What's good, bro?
Chilling, my man. We out here working. We in MaxOut 3 mode. Shout out to everybody that's on the Chris Unbiased channel. If you're not subscribed, you should be. Go ahead and click the notifications. Drop a comment and a like below. You know how it go.
Appreciate that. 1 year ago exactly, there were some people saying this was the KFC league. There were some people saying this is the farm league. There were some people saying ARP is blogging too much. He needs to get back to battle rap. Are you even surprised at the change 1 year later and how our RBE is looked at now?
Nah, man. You gotta understand. It's a swing of the pendulum, man.
Is it amusing to you? Do you just sit back and laugh and be like, what's the thought process?
I feel like I literally have answered this like 100 times from the last 10 years, and it all traces to me not chasing. How many times have you said for me? How many times have you said in blogs like, hey man, I've been talking to AR, man, like you don't care about being number one, you don't care about this or whatever, right? The only difference between whether today we're KFC or tomorrow we're Amazon or whatever is what we got going on, and that goes for everything.
Right.
Now, what you got going on is still a skill within itself. I can't just throw somebody a bag and make them successful. Go ask what's the name that they're duel in the desert and Mr. Fab versus Awesome, all that type of shit. Ask people that have done mega main event and big cars and sponsored them and then came in and got the fuck on. Ask Vlad, ask Shady Records, ask Alki David, you know what I'm saying? It's not about how much money you got. So when I see people try to say that, they're haters. They dick suckers, as a matter of fact. Alright? You can't blame a bag when you got 10 years of perseverance, history, creativity, work ethic, consistency, and being on the ground and on the front lines. That's not just money. We see a lot of people with more money than RBE, and RBE has never even been sponsored. Be in and out. Alright?
Right.
So I know that when I'm able to really put on and I get into a certain mode for RBE, like the climate is going to move with us because we already have a good enough name. You know what I'm saying? My name is strong enough, or RBE's name is strong enough where if we took all 2024 off, we would still be understood like they're there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, is RBE going to do something? Because RBE has put in that much work. We have that deep of a catalog, that deep of a history in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, and if we're doing straight to YouTube battles and you don't feel like anything's crashing the internet or going viral or going, mega main events and whatnot, and you want to play with us because you think that we down for the moment, or you think that we chilling, and you think that somewhere else is just, oh, they're out. And that's how it goes. And that's why I'm like, yo, don't cry when it's your turn. Because when it's my turn and I'm under the radar a little bit and I'm just chilling, and it's like, oh, y'all of this, y'all of that. All right, cool. I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to go back at people, whatever. And then when it's my time, Don't cry and be like, oh, I got an excuse now why he's popping. I'm popping now because I did my fucking work and then I stepped even further out there. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful when you listen to some of these clowns paint narratives, because at any given moment, if we decide to turn up, it could be this.
Right.
I don't think people would think I'm lying if I said I could do a max out whenever the fuck I want, as far as applying myself, applying my brand, and putting up this type of budget. I don't think people think I'm lying if I say that. If they do that, that's cool.
That leads me to another question, because there's always a lot of, like, I personally feel like, you know, your issue with URL in the lawsuit was basically to slow you down. So when you see you do a max out, not in a small room, and it's the biggest car ever in a small room, this is to me the biggest car of the year, to be honest with you. I don't know what's gonna be, I don't know what's forthcoming, but so when you see that, people are like, wow, how is ARP able to still maneuver amongst all of the BS? And it's just like, to that you say what?
Perception is reality to certain people, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than Max Out 1. You got people that's just so ignorant by text, by dictionary definition. I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. It's so ignorant. They think everybody made money off of Max Out except for RBE. They say, oh, y'all maxed out your credit cards and y'all didn't do this the next year because you're still recouping from Max Out 1. You know what I'm saying? So we have fun with it. But yeah, you're right. Everybody made money off of Max Out except for RBE, right? Cool, not a problem. We actually gross the most out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? But you know, it could be that type of shit. It could be straight to it is because RBE is drowning in lawyer fees, and lawyer fees ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? I still want to say that humbly. You know, anybody that's got legal activity going on, they gotta pay legal fees, they gotta pay lawyer fees. That's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So, but now when the shoe is on the other foot, making sure it's not fucking up your audio. But now, when the shoe is on the other foot, once again, keep that same energy. Because when you see other people that were also in lawsuits, could be the same lawsuit as mine, right? And now they're talking about budget cuts, and I never said budget cuts. Keep that same fucking energy then, right? All right. So when we say that we could do a max out whenever the fuck we want, I think our history shows up over the years that we march at our own beat and we move on our own timing, and we don't do this for a living. So it's just like, let me try this straight to it shit. Let me try this validation shit. Let me try this blue room shit. You don't want to know what? I like this energy. I like this car. I like this main event. I just locked in. Fuck it. Max out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Parlaying on how much does that stuff fuel you? All of the talk, a little bit of this. I mean, I know you probably feel like that lawsuit could potentially be to slow you down and stuff, and this, whether you want to be number one, I still probably view you as a competitive person at the end of the day, to some degree.
You have to be competitive by nature, yeah, to a degree. Yeah.
How much is this like, you know what, because a part of me, when I was thinking about not being in battle rap no more, part of me was like, I didn't want to feel like anybody could run me out. That fueled me to kind of keep logging. So I guess for you, like, does any of this still fuel you? Like, you know what, y'all think I can't do it? How only am I gonna do a max out? I'm gonna do 10 battles, and I'm gonna do a surprise battle, and I'm gonna do this. And how much of that is a little bit of fuel?
Yeah. All right. So I'm human. On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 3.
Okay.
So that's me saying that I guess it's there because I'm human and I'm competitive by nature. But once you start getting into a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you're too much in your ego, too much in your pride. That's when you start having these Cassidy type situations, or you shoot yourself in the foot, or you abuse the plug, or you overpay, or you give people extensive contracts, whether they're legal or not, when you shouldn't be. And that's when you start getting into all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start changing your dates around and booking battles based on what somebody else is doing, all this type of shit. That's when you get into that. Me, you don't see me have those type of actions. So I'm telling you, like, it might be there to like a 3 level, where it's just like, oh, now a 3 level for me just makes it, just makes it sweeter. You know what I'm saying? It gives you that I told you so, or like shut up ability sometimes, because every once in a while it is good to tell some of these clowns, shut up, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I'm not gonna construct a card. I'm not gonna spend my money. I'm not gonna stay in battle rap because I feel like, nah, you're not pushing me out of here. Because if I ever felt that way, we would have been gone year one. Year one. We wouldn't have been here 10 years later if I ever felt that way.
Right.
So I think clearly, if I quit tomorrow, everybody should, if you have even an inkling of intelligence, you're gonna say he did it on his terms. On his terms. Or else you're just not paying attention to our 10-year history.
Okay. There's a couple things I want you to explain. I just want your point of view because you actually live it, so you should probably be able to explain it. There's a lot of people that hit me up and they talk about YouTube views, and when they're trying to compare leagues, a lot of people, being that you're the only one on YouTube now, or one of the few people on YouTube now, they try to compare like the views between like Clips and Raw and Mook and Big K, and they feel like they're low. What's your perception? First of all, do you feel like YouTube views are low? And if so, what do you feel like is the overall reason for it being low?
I don't think that overall YouTube views is low because you can't only scale YouTube views to RBE.
Okay.
So for example, when I see, you just brought up Clips and Raw and Mook and Big K, which are both, I think,
and I guess what I'm saying is I feel like people in their point of view probably feel like a Mook battle should be at 1 million views.
No, but that's the point that I'm about to make.
Okay.
Because overall, your question is still, do I feel like YouTube views are down?
Right.
You didn't ask me if RBE views are down, right?
YouTube views.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to scale the question to YouTube views, you can't just look at RBE.
Okay.
Right? Because I think those two battles from the last card are either at or around 700,000 views. But I can see Easy and Reed do 500 in a week. I can see Easy and Hitman do 1 million in a week. Right? So then sometimes it's the matchup, sometimes it's a battler, sometimes it's lack of promotion, right? I don't think that anybody thinks that Hitman Ill Will is gonna do the type of views at the type of pace that Mook and K are. Nobody thinks that. Let's be honest. Do you think that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes it circumstantial then. Your answer right there makes it circumstantial.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I know you got MaxOut 3 coming aboard. That's coming off the Divide and Conquer, coming off straight to it. So what made you want to jump into a MaxOut?
We was definitely in Blue Room mode. So after Divide and Conquer 2, we started to put together the next card, and it wasn't going to be MaxOut. After I locked in Hitman versus Ill Will, Hitman kind of lobbed it. I ain't gonna lie. He kind of lobbed it like, yo, it's just a MaxOut. I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hearing him out like, yeah, you probably right. But we were still kind of like saying it's Divide and Conquer. Everything I saw at the book after that, like I think by the time I did Verb and A-Water, it might have still been Divide and Conquer 3. And then as the shit just kept going, I was just like, yo, it was already maxed out the moment you book Hitman and Ill Will. But now I'm looking at the complete card, and I hit Holla up. I'm just like, yo, this has got to be MaxOut 3. He was like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? And then I text everybody else on the card. You know, I'll let them know like, yo, it's MaxOut, y'all. Just so they don't mess up none of their bars, you know, calling it Divide and Conquer. They have the promo expectation, they have the card expectation, all of that. That's really how we got to MaxOut 3. But I knew the next card was gonna be a Blue Room regardless.
Okay. So I take it you booked Hitman and Ill Will first, like you just said. When did this turn into like a kind of like a getting a lot of St. Louis guys? Was Verb always a participant, or did Hitman alley-oop that too? Like how did that happen?
It wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan. So we tried to set on this path one time before, and it's when we had the Rare Breeds card, right? So when I had Mook and Verb locked in, I was like, okay, Mook's return. This is about to be epic. I got A-Verb there. He's one of the St. Louis guys, and he's one of the battle rap goats, right? And then at that time, I started negotiating with Hitman, right? So me and Hitman was on the phone. I think we discussed Ill Will at the time. We definitely discussed Big K at the time. And it was like not even half of what he gets paid today. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows like at RBE, once I started seeing his impact over here, like how much his bag changed. But I was coming at him for a way smaller number because it was like either the first or the second time we negotiated. Remember, this is before the Bill Collector battle. So it was like the first or the second time that we had ever talked business. And it was kind of like still gonna work out because I think Hitman was like, he was more eager to get on the card, you know, be a part of a big moment, debut on RBE, expand his brand. He was more, I think, catering to that. But I think that news and that kind of like energy got out a little bit. Next thing you know, he got that Tay-Rock call, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he got locked in for Tay-Rock, which was a dope battle, you know what I'm saying? So once we lost Hitman, you know, that's when I was just like, all right, cool, we got off of that plan. But this time around, you know, we had Hitman locked in. Then after we had Hitman all settled, obviously I got the Verb situation done. And people don't know, but behind the scenes, me and Young Ill has been talking for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Things just don't line up, either timing, opponent, negotiations, whatever the case may be. But we've been talking for a while. So that was like easy to be like, yo, we got Hitman and Verb, Young Ill. All the times that we tried to get close to getting you on RBE and it didn't work out, if it was ever the perfect time, now is that. And he was just like 1, 2, 3. He was just like, let's go. Let's go. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how this formulated. You get those first 2 guys locked in, and I already got, you know, communications going with Young Ill behind the scenes. It's like, it's easy.
Say that A-Ward seems like he's walking into a very tough battle with a good opponent.
I don't want to step in front of A-Ward and Verb and their grudge and their own promo and their gripe, but I think, to my recollection, that A-Ward was the one that started it as far as saying, I'll battle you in St. Louis. Right? So if that's the case, then I will say this. A-Ward has 100 times easier job of facing A-Verb in Atlanta in the Loot Room than he does in actual St. Louis. Now, don't get it twisted. I think a big piece of September 2nd in that venue could be St. Louis, and if not St. Louis, the Midwest. I wouldn't be surprised if the Midwest took up 40% of the crowd. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case at all. Like, even I, as a battle rap fan, probably wouldn't have wanted to see A-Ward and A-Verb in St. Louis, because then at that point, I think A-Ward's just walking into a place where we don't even want to hear you rap. We don't even want to listen to your bars. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we kind of took St. Louis and put it in Atlanta, but it's still a pretty even playing field. You know, it's possible as it's going to be, despite the Midwest representation on the card. And A-Ward's from the Midwest too, so.
There's a lot of questions about this card being in a small room and being like the biggest card of the year, possibly, or at
the
least
biggest card ever in a small room.
Oh, the biggest card ever in a small room.
That's real.
No, I do agree with that. How does, I know there's a lot of thought process and where venue you want to do certain cards in. Is there I guess a underappreciation or not realizing how much pay-per-view sales go far? Because the first thing would be like, oh, why isn't ARP getting more door money? So is it just like, yo, you don't really realize how much $75 pay-per-views go? Like what's the thought process in putting a car like this in a small room?
So any event that runs pay-per-view, you're always gonna, well, I shouldn't say it. It's the bigger leagues, right? The more well represented and impactful leagues, every pay-per-view that they do outsells the venue, outsells the door. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what venue you're using. If you have a worldwide following, your pay-per-view goes worldwide on sale. You know what I'm saying? Even if the venue holds 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to sell it to more people than that around the world. So the stream is, and that's another reason why, as a professional battle rapper, you have to rap for the camera and for the pay-per-view. Because you got, first, the least amount of viewership is in the building live. The second amount of viewership is going to be the pay-per-view. And then the third is YouTube.
Right.
So what do you care the most about? The fucking million plus that might see it on the tube, the couple thousands or whatever that might see it on pay-per-view, or the couple hundred that's in the room? You better figure out a way to cater to all that shit. The beginning in the building and the end product that lives on forever. You know what I'm saying? So that it's not just my mentality that needs to go into that. The battlers need to be smart enough to know how to leverage that. Now I think what you're asking is a little bit more catered to the business side of things. And I definitely think there's an underappreciation for, well, I shouldn't say an underappreciation. I should say more so of absence of knowledge. People just don't think about it, of what it takes to say that we don't want to sacrifice a battler's delivery, having the gaps in between his bars and the delays from the crowd, or the yo calm down, or you're like yo my mic, or turn it up, or this. I don't think y'all fully pay attention to the importance of us taking such an impactful card like this, sacrificing maybe $80,000 on the door, and putting it in the small room because that's where y'all gonna get the best quality. Now, of course, from a business standpoint, I need that pay-per-view to do what it's supposed to do, and we're already seeing that the pay-per-view is doing what it's supposed to do, so I'm not worried about that. But of course, in my shoes, you're like, yeah, you're banking more on the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That's always more important because that's always gonna have more sales on it than a couple hundred people in the building. Always. It's the same thing for putting Murder Mook in there and Big K. That whole card is not cheap. Divide and Conquer 2. I'm not covering that with those door sales. So I know that because MaxOut 3 is such a big card, they're asking the questions about that. But you can ask that same question for any card that we've done in the Blue Room this year. Hollow himself gets paid more than the Blue Room could sell out a venue. Hollow himself as a battle rapper. So then how do we do it? It's just people are just only paying attention to MaxOut 3. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this. I made a statement in a blog that this card was so big it could probably do $100 pay-per-view. Yeah, and I really believe that, and which is kind of unheard of considering that, you know, we buy $100 tickets just to be in a venue, so you wouldn't think a pay-per-view would match a quote-unquote ticket price. Yeah. Seeing how you were able to raise the tickets and sell out, raise the pay-per-view, you know, we even saw Remy do that on her last card. Does that change a little outlook? Because I think that's a waters we never crossed in battle rap before. Most pay-per-views stayed the same throughout the whole process, and the money kind of stayed the same as far as door money. You kind of knew what a league would charge at the door. You kind of knew if a pay-per-view was $45, it stayed there, despite if it was sold out. The fact that it's been able to increase and still sell, does that change the way you look at booking moving forward?
Nah, it doesn't change the way that we look at booking moving forward, because we have done this before. We've sold tickets in batches before, knowing that, okay, we put this first 75 tickets up as batch 1 and set that limit there on the Eventbrite. Once that sells out at that price, that's a wrap. Then we're going to bring batch 2 on, and we're going to think about how much we want to charge for that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Same thing for batch 3 and same thing for final batch that we did on the Eventbrite. So it's been done before. Even pay-per-views have been raised before. Sometimes, like, you'll start out for a pre-sale, or early bird, and then it might go up to, like, let's say $55, $60 or something like that. So we've seen that a bunch of times, you know, depending on how the face-offs go. If you drop a Hitman and a Cassidy face-off that goes viral all over the fucking place, and the whole world starts saying, I gotta see that on MaxOut 1, then it's like, yo, it's a different ball game right now. You know, shout out to everybody that got their pre-sale, but we gotta raise it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's no different than right now. We knew what we had, so I feel like we was humble enough and did good customer service enough to try to, for lack of better words, warn people. The moment that you see RBE, you're supposed to come with a certain amount of respect. The moment that you see RBE plus MaxOut, you're supposed to come with a certain amount of understanding. The moment you see RBE, MaxOut, Hitman Holla versus Ill Will, you're supposed to say, I'm sold, let me grab this. If you want to wait, no problem. And then as we release the rest of the card, it's like, we told you. The battlers are telling you. You got verb and spaces every day. I'm making ARP. Fuck that. This is the only thing on the floor. There's a bubble. So it's just like, it really, really is true to what the card is doing and what the card deserves. Even though you say stuff like, I've never saw a blogger say before, you know, this league could charge $100 for this pay-per-view. I've never seen battlers getting these interviews and say like, yo, it's gonna go up to this. Go buy it now. Normally battlers don't even go fuck with the league charges. People see the impact of this card so much, I don't see a single complaint about the price, even while it is kind of low right now. So does it go up to $100? Maybe, maybe not. Even a pre-sale for the door. Online, 2-month out, pre-sale, I've never seen for $200 before. General admission. I've never seen that before in battle rap.
Yeah.
So it's just the magnitude of MaxOut 3.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to talk about the Blue Room real quick.
Yeah.
When did you realize, I feel like it's a brand now, I feel like there's certain things where people be like, I want to be on this, and you know, you hear Gnomes and Summer Madnesses and, you know, Blue Rooms and maybe Divide and Conquers or maybe different series that you have. Yeah. When did you realize Blue Room was branded?
When you started seeing everybody say it and they wasn't saying the name of the card. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when it's not about, because remember the first Blue Room was Closure 2. That's the card that had Big K versus A-Ward originally booked on it, and then we had to put on the next card. And then we ended up just leaving off the night with, to me, a classic, Ill Will versus 40 Bars. That was the first Blue Room card, right? After that, coming back with Divide and Conquer 1, where you got Hollow versus Ill Will. And I was telling people, I was like, okay, we didn't get A-Ward and Big K done, but now that's going to make the next card bigger. That went from the main event to the co-main event, because now I'm doing Hollow and Ill Will and putting that with that. You know what I'm saying? So the impact of that card and people saying that there wasn't a bad round, not a bad battle, but there wasn't a single bad round during the whole night. And then just the promotion of it, the stamping of it. People weren't saying Closure 2. People weren't saying Divide and Conquer. People were even forgetting the whole promotional theme of what Divide and Conquer was. Divide and Conquer Part 1 in the trailers was saying, make winning matter again. Win your battle and move on, right? That's why when you saw Big K versus Murder Mook, I said that timing is perfect coming off of his epic performance versus A-Ward. Make winning matter again. You know what I'm saying? So we was trying to bake that into the theme. People were just forgetting that. I got people like Mook that gets to the end of his third round versus Big K, and this is me saying, Divide and Conquer, is this URL versus RBE? No, you missed it. It's in the fucking trailers. It's make winning matter again. Win your battle and move on, right? So people weren't paying attention to the theme. They were paying attention to Blue Room. That's it. Blue Room, Blue Room, Blue Room. So at that point, it's just like, fuck it. I might as well not even call it fucking well, the name MaxOut is big, but Blue Room, as a saying, is bigger than Divide and Conquer.
Am I missing something? Because I almost forget where y'all film at other than a Blue Room. Is it just Blue Room and Believe Music Hall
in
right
Atlanta?
now? Yeah, like
that's crazy, and it's dope that the Blue
I know y'all
Room
did like
music
Music Hall. I know y'all Music Room. I know y'all did other places, but I feel like moving forward is this kind of like, okay, we do small, we'll do Blue. If we do big, we'll do Believe. Is that?
So that's not really a decision that I made yet, but I mean, of course, in Atlanta, I mean, New York for the most part was drum,
right?
To the point where when you say drum and battle rap, it's a known thing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we branded drum as a battle rap location. You know what I mean? So in Atlanta, we did the Music Room. That's where you had cards like Hitman versus Bill Collector. You had cards that had like Matt versus Sirius in there. You know what I'm saying? So we did some big main events in the Music Room. Post-COVID, the Music Room shut down. It's a different spot now. It's like totally remodeled in there and everything. We also did that location. It's kind of like just a rental space where we was doing the Straight to It series. That was like the whole 2022. We was using that spot. You know what I'm saying? The Blue Room thing, I told the story before, but it's something that we kind of fell on accident. You know, because I walked into Bags and Bodies does a lot of their shooting in the room that's right across the hall. Right. So I went there just to support Holla and Bags and Bodies, and while I was there, I think it was John. What's going on, my man?
Hey, I bought my pay-per-view already.
I appreciate you. MaxOut 3 September 2nd. I'll see you there. I appreciate that. But Bags and Bodies is like the hall right next door. I mean, the room right across the hall. And I was just there, just support Holla, support Bags and Bodies. You know what I'm saying? And it was either John or somebody. Somebody's like, yo, you gotta look at the room right across the hall too. It's dope. So I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. It might have been Avo too. I think Avo was trying to show it to me too, Avocado. And then I was talking to John. He was like, yeah, I know the manager here, whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna grab his number from you. So I grabbed his number from John. Shout out to John. And then I called him. I was like, yo, what's up, man? You know, we want to do blah, 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 blah. When I walked into the room the day of the event, Avocado just had a blue light in there. And I walked in and I was just like, yo, this is kind of sick. I was like, I like the way this looks. So then when I saw the footage after the very first event, I was just like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to stay right here for a second, and then the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? So
what goes into your thought process when it goes to figuring out how many matches you want to put on this card? I know you just announced that you added a surprise battle.
Yeah.
How do you figure out, like, okay, we're gonna do 6 battles, 8 battles, 10 battles? Like where are you at with that?
You'd be surprised how much of that is just off the wing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised. I'd be lying if I tried to tell you that there was just like we sat down and just had this whole formula to how many battles on the card. That's not how it happened. The original thought for MaxOut 3 was 5 battles only, nothing else. Normally we put up and comers or our hitters or 1SKs on every card. This one, when I constructed the first 5 matchups, I said, that's it. This card is just too hellacious. It's too stupid. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to hit these 5 and then get the fuck on. That's really where I was at when I locked in the first 5 battles. And in typical RBE fashion, it just doesn't stay like that, you know. So then the 6th battle came around, which was the ladies, you know, and I could say it now on camera because that's actually dropping probably tomorrow or Tuesday or whatever. But QB, she muscled her way on the card. You know what I'm saying? QB muscled her way on the card, like, nah, ain't no MaxOut without me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you know, it was just a situation where I think her, because she's battling RX, so RX is debuting on RBE. Shout out to RX. But they wanted to battle each other.
I heard a rumor. She said that this was the smoothest negotiation she ever had in battle rap.
RX.
Yeah. So
that's dope.
Kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Shout out to RX. Shout out to RX. And I like RX, how she's already coming out with like her trailer. She's got exclusive content in it because we don't have any battle footage of her. So she got like Ruin Your Day shot, high quality, it's exclusive. It's dope. Y'all gonna see the trailer if it's not out already by the time y'all see this. But yeah, so QB, she muscled her way on the card. She said, nah, ain't no MaxOut without me. I said, you got it. And then then I was like, you know what? Let's get the shooters, you know what I'm saying? Because the intake cards have been going crazy and Lawrence and Wing deserve that. And so do some of the people that they booked. So I said, yo, I want to give y'all 4 slots, 4 battles. Book whoever you want. I said, I don't care if it's 1SKs, I don't care if it's bricks, I don't care if it's non-bricks, I don't care if it's intakes, I don't care if it's no way out battles. You got 8 people to book for 4 battles, here you go. And they came back with that. You know what I'm saying? The 11th battle was just the whole makeup of damn near half the card already out already, or the impactful battles being announced already. And then something else that was just like, that's kind of got to be there too. Like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? So,
Chris, bias. Man, subscribe to the channel, man. Don't be a hater your whole life. Chris, bias.